Jeffrey, if I can start with you, I have a sense of you as an actor and all the great things you've done over the years. And then I read that you were a Batman nut for the longest time. Do people find it incongruous that you're such a Batman fan? I don't know why we should, but I kind of did.
Well, hey, I was an 8-year-old kid once.
Even you were.
Yeah, even I. And so, absolutely, I loved Batman. The TV series was my first introduction, and it was just, it was just adventure and intrigue and just a wonderful bit of entertainment. I
Nice to
think
meet you. Hi,
Matt
I'm
Reeves,
Matt
our
from
director,
IGN.
of
It's
similar
very
years
nice
to
to meet
me,
you.
that was his first introduction as well, and we were pulled into that. It's an interesting. It's a bit of a wink at the comics. It kind of takes a bit of the piss, as they say, if I can say that.
Absolutely. The more the
But
merrier.
but it's brilliantly performed. Adam West, of course, as the Batman, but Cesar Romero is wonderful, and Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, Eartha Kitt, Julie Newmar, trading cat women.
Mhm.
It was wonderful stuff, and I was a kid in the '70s. We all watched TV, probably too much TV, and Batman was front and center for me.
I hear
Absolutely.
you. And Paul, I love what they do. I was a Batman nut as well. We got that in Ireland, the Adam West one as well in the 80s. I'm slightly younger than Jeffrey, not much though, but I loved what they did or what you did with the Riddler because, in the Adam West one, for instance, and in other iterations of it, he's very much comic booky, yet yours is wonderfully dark and twisted and kind of the now. Were you really excited when you read the script?
I was shocked by it. I mean, frankly, Matt's entire conception was so powerful and fully realized, even just on the page, that I was
Mm,
sort of blown away. Yes, I also liked that. I mean, firstly, it gave us the creative freedom to go wherever this version needed to go,
mhm.
and I think it's nice. I mean, of course, I took in the history of Batman and of Gotham and of the Riddler, but to not owe any debt in some ways it was freeing, and I think. One of the things that I love that Matt was offering us the opportunity to do was to make this villain as personal and emotional and psychological as possible. And it's also a thematically rich film while also being an immersive action spectacle.
Yeah.
I was really excited by the opportunity at hand. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeffrey, the eagle eyed amongst us will notice that you're not Commissioner Gordon in this, you're Lieutenant Gordon. And it's fascinating that that's where they've chosen to situate your character. And you're taking a punt on Batman, as we say in this part of the world, because there's a great scene at the start where cops are going, "What are you doing talking to this guy?" Like your character was such a clever twist on it. That's certainly how I saw it.
Yeah, I agree. And it Matt wanted to celebrate Batman as the world's greatest detective, which is, the seed at the
Mm,
core of the series going back, 80 years. And so he decided we're in year two of Batman's story. And so if Gordon is a lieutenant, it gives him an opportunity to still be a cop on the street. And in that the film is driven by detective work, mystery, intrigue, all of that makes for a rich storyline. Then Gordon, as a lieutenant, is more activated in that way. It was a really wonderful decision on Matt's part, and excited me when I read it because you might easily assume that Gordon's commissioner is behind a desk somewhere, barking orders and admiring the Batman from
mm.
afar, but.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this case, he gets to be partnered with him in a way that is explored to some extent in some of the comics,
Yeah.
and just makes for a rich kind of classic detective duo. in the guise of Holmes and Watson. I think is Gary Oldman, who played him once before, of course, once described him.
Yeah. And Paul, just finally then, can I just throw a complete curveball at you and say my favorite teenager ever committed to screen was you, wearing a Nietzsche t-shirt, refusing to speak, and then rescuing his sister in the wonderful Little Miss Sunshine. If I didn't just tell you how much I love that movie while you were in front of me, I'd never forgive myself. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, that is really nice. I appreciate that, and that was a special film and experience for me. So, yeah, thanks. That's really
No problem. Well, The Batman is a wonderful film as well, and thank you both for talking to me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.